So I am Genevieve Cytko. Welcome to the podcast, to the Crossing Parallels podcast. I am the owner of Crossing Parallels Photography, and I'm here with my best friend, one of my best friends in the whole world, Ray Fordyce.
Hello.
And I think we're just going to talk photography. So, what should we talk about, Ray? Why?
What to you is the epitome of a fantastic photograph?
Lighting.
Okay.
Lighting and a good subject.
Of course, yes.
Why? What's yours? What's yours, Ray?
If I see a man with a nice arse in
Ooh.
it. No,
He
picture.
is gay,
Yep.
just so you know.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we'll cut that out. No, a good picture for me is when the subject is really clear and in focus. You can see like all the good details of it, and it just sort of captures where it is in the world and all that kind of.
They have
stuff.
blurry photo competitions, though. So basically, it's about blurs and white. So I think maybe it's just one's opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've seen people take blurry photographs and then recreate them in paintings. That's kind of a clever idea, but I generally find blurry photos, unless the blurring is part of how it's meant to look, then they just look a bit messy.
A bit messy.
Like blurring, like capturing motion. That's that kind of thing. That's when I would think blurry would be acceptable.
Like a sports photograph.
Yeah.
I was asked the other day, why should they hire a photographer? And basically, it's because I've got some mad skills behind the camera. I know what I'm doing. I am here to make you look good. And what more do you want, really? Because I know technology is upgrading and there's some amazing photos out there, but hire a professional, people.
Yeah.
Hire a professional.
Besides, good quality cameras are very, very expensive. Not only that, hiring a professional photographer will make sure that it looks good. I'm sure you'll keep copies of the really good ones, so if they ever lose them, you could always provide them with new ones.
Sort of. I've got digital files for people. Yeah. I like editing people. I like the final product. I like the whole process. I like taking the pictures. I like meeting the people. I like seeing what I can capture, because it's kind of amazing, the results.
Yeah.
And I know some people are amazed at what I can do, because they realize I'm at the back of a room at an event, especially a comedy event, and I have to take pictures of people and actually capture their faces. So that's a challenge and a half, getting a good, clear picture from a distance. Thank goodness for good lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you've just not long finished a stint at the Fringe. You got loads of really, really good photos, and
Thanks,
some from yeah, you got some of really some really good photos of professional and semi-professional comedians who I'm sure would kill for a photo like that.
No one's died yet. Just had a few requests, that's all.
Yeah. Well, you did say you shoot people.
Yeah, I do shoot people. I'm working on a little ad campaign with funny slogans, and hopefully I'll get some iron-on transfers. And anybody want a shirt, let me know, because I would like some free advertising. Yeah, I need a little bit of help in that.
Yeah, well, doesn't everyone?
Yes. No.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
next year I will use you for photos for next year's Fringe posters.
Thank you.
Once I decide what I'm going to do, or who I'm going to perform with.
Discount, of course, right?
Yeah, of course, yes.
You know, Ray and I used to have a Fringe show together, because I also do stand-up part-time, and Ray does sometimes, too.
Yes.
And that's how we met, on the comedy circuit, and boy, it's a crazy place. It's a crazy place. A lot of egos.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I was looking through my photos that I was deleting, but I found one, and it was the very first day we met, and there's a picture of where you're in the background.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever see this picture.
Oh, no, I kept it. I didn't delete it.
Okay.
But I remember it was the first night I met you.
Yeah, it was a good night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
City Cafe.
Yes.
I will never forget.
Yep.
A lot of horror stories from that place.
Oh, and lots of
And good
success stories. Yeah,
and good bonding. Yeah.
yeah,
And all the city cafe.
yeah. Can we mention the names of all the people that we met there who we're still friends with? Or?
We could, but I don't think the people on the podcast will really want to know because they don't know them. I know there's a certain name we shall never mention.
Yeah, well,
It's sort of like Voldemort.
yeah, certain few names that we will.
Stay away from the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
But so, what made you decide that you wanted to do a photography business?
I've been taking pictures for a really long time, and the more pictures I take, I realize the better I was getting. And people, like my mom and a few of my friends, said that maybe you should try and make a business out of it.
Hmm.
And I talked to a few business people, and they actually liked what I brought a portfolio with my business plan, and they really liked what I did. So
you've got something there.
I've got skills.
Mm-hmm.
I just need people to hire me so I can pay my rent. It's just one of those life things, you know.
Mm. Yeah, well, of course you'd want to do more than just take photos just to pay your rent.
No, I really do like it. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I like it's more than a hobby.
Yeah.
I'm a little obsessed with it, I have to say.
Yeah, me, I just do it for a hobby, but you do it proper professionally.
Yeah.
And do you as well as portraits, I see you kind of like doing. What kind of other photos
Well,
do you like
I do portraits, and I try and do like live events. I'm trying to do conferences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Parades, anything really.
Yeah.
As long as it's legal. That's pretty much my phrase right there. I'll do anything as long as it's legal.
Yeah. Whereas I've got a thing for doing like animal pictures, and especially getting insects, because they're so small to capture a photo of them is just whoa.
Yeah.
Especially when you get it very sharp and looks
all the details. Yeah.
Like every scale, every vein of their wings, and every
See,
leg.
I like. People are gonna hate this, especially if you hate spiders. But I like taking pictures of spiders. Like I like trying to get as much detail of them. They're my thing. If I were to take a picture of an insect of some sort.
Speaking of which, I think that spider's dead. Its legs are up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's classy.
Yeah.
This flat is full of spiders. We're recording from my flat.
And there was also a thing that the scare of the false widow spiders is completely overhyped. That they're, unless you're allergic to them, they're not likely to do any harm to anyone here. Because every spider bites, but most humans can't feel them because their fangs aren't strong enough to penetrate human skin.
Well, that's comforting.
Yes. But even some of the big tarantulas don't have big enough fangs, but we don't have to worry about tarantulas unless there's a
An escape of one.
Unless there's an earthquake at a local insect house.
Yeah, or the neighbour.
Spiders.
My uncle.
Insects, but.
Yeah, that's true. Arachnids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My uncle used to have one. Tarantula. Freaked me out. Very hairy legs.
Yeah.
The spider and my uncle.
No, that would have been funnier if it was your auntie.
Yeah.
Well, you can use that one later.
Yeah, maybe. So, Ray, where do you work during the day?
This is kind of funny what I'm going to say because you just told them that I was gay, but I actually work in a shop that makes fudge.
Yep, make your own jokes, people.
Because I've heard them a million times before.
Own jokes. Yeah.
But as well as that, I also do stand up.
We had a Fringe show a couple of years ago, and it was a lot of fun. And our friend Gareth joined us, and we didn't get the best reviews, but we're new, and we were trying. But it was a brilliant time, a lot of laughs.
Yeah, but do you know there's so many like inspiration? I know you said you hated inspirational quotes the other day, but
yeah, I was having a moment. I was really grumpy and thought any more inspirational quotes can just F off.
Well, there's a good one there.
Yeah.
But no, there was one about so many successful people who were failed, like Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination, and Oprah Winfrey just was told she was crap, and Steve Jobs, loads of people who are like ridiculously successful, basically told at first they were completely useless. So I don't think we should take any reviews like that seriously.
Anybody who's been really lovely to me has told me that self-employment is the hardest thing that you'll ever do, and the first year is always the shittest. And I'm still in my first year and a few months in, and boy, it is hard work. It is hard work, and sometimes the motivation to get out of bed in the morning is so hard. So hard. I'd rather just eat my pillow. Yeah, it's just one of those things, but...
Is that what you're calling it these days?
Ooh, I know. I've been single too long.
But I do photography as well, but I'm more of a hobby photographer. And as I say, I like doing insects. Like the other day, while I was waiting for the bus home, I captured some birds on the fence down the road there, which I still got to upload. But I've got a lot of animal pictures and insect pictures that I really like.
Yeah. You should check out my website if you're curious, because it's crossingparallels.co.uk. You can see some of my work there. I'm on Facebook too. I'm on Twitter at cparallels, which I know isn't the greatest name, but I thought crossing P's just sounded like a horrible Ghostbuster urinations thing, and it just it's just not as good.
Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters, yeah. Classy movie, right?
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, you should bring your camera around to a Halloween party. You might get a few interesting photos there.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you'd have to get permission from everyone to
Post
use
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because we'll be playing a lot of dancing.
That is the worst part, is getting permission off people. I've got some brilliant photos that I would really love to show people, but I just don't have the permission off the people. So I have this private gallery of all these nice things that I look at.
Well, you have my permission to use any photos, as long as I'm doing something legal.
Yeah, something like... Oh, and I love, personally, taking pictures and capturing moments, and sometimes people have the oddest faces, like in like a split second, they pull the oddest face, and I just laugh. Just the best faces ever being pulled, and no one else will know about it except for me.
Oh yeah, I've got a few photos of that from like nights out with workmates, and you're just sort of randomly snapping away, and then all of a sudden you go, "Whoa, when did she pull that face?" Yeah,
I've got one of John Fordyce. That when I'm really sad, I always look at it, and it just makes me laugh.
Is it like the average age of a pigeon?
He's another comedian. If you ever see him, he's around in Scotland.
Yeah,
he's based in Glasgow, and he's a minister. He's a fantastic man. So
he's one of the nicest guys I met in comedy.
Yeah, definitely, very funny man.
And he does sound a little bit like that, but I hope he won't mind me impersonating him like that. He might be quite honoured.
I hope so. I hope he would not be offended by you trying to be him.
Yeah. The guys from Ginger Ale, they told me that they did a comedy covers competition. About 3 people went on as John Purvis, and they tried to do him, and apparently John Purvis was quite flattered by it all.
Ginger Ale comedy is amazing.
The guys running that, yeah.
Yeah, they're so nice, yeah.
Speaking of which, I really need to phone round and we'll see about getting us something for the Glasgow Comedy Festival.
I keep hearing that. Until he actually does it, I don't believe.
Yeah, I'm just terrible for... I'm a bit anxious on the phone sometimes, so...
Ray's a great procrastinator. And so am I.
No, I'm not professional yet. I'm only an ordinary procrastinator.
Okay.
That looks better written down.
It does, doesn't it? I get the joke. It's more of a boo. So, yeah.
I assume you do want to come on this Glasgow Comedy Festival journey.
I do.
And
I did some guest spots last year. Absolutely loved it. It was amazing being in Glasgow, and I was with Sarah and Liam, and I got a sneak spot because one of the acts dropped out, and I said I'd fill in. And the guy that actually did the bookings was there at the night, and he's like, I don't remember booking you, but at least you were funny. And he's like, if you're back in the area again, I would book you again. And I was like, champion of the world.
Yay.
And then because of Glasgow, when Edinburgh Fringe was going on, I got recognised by a few people saying, oh, I saw you in Glasgow, I thought you were right.
Yeah.
So... you never know. I'm slightly famous now. What can I say? I was recognised by a person. Hey!
First year a person, next year two
people.
Yay!
That's the motivation. Because clearly my comedy career is dying. Hence the photography, and even that is a bit of a struggle. But at least I'm trying, folks. At least I'm trying.
Yeah. God loves a trial.
Yeah, he's being dirty. I hope you didn't hear that.
But yeah, we'll persevere, and well, next year maybe we'll take our comedy careers in new directions,
like Perth.
No, Aberdeen.
Oh, that is far away.
Yeah,
That is living the dream.
Mm-hmm.
The most intimidating place I've ever done comedy was at the Comedy Store in London. Like, it was just too much. I had a panic attack before I went on stage. It was horrible.
Oh. Wasn't that bear pit we did outside Perth that one year?
That was mental. You had no idea, people, because we walked into... Basically, we were in the middle of Perthshire, and there was a cottage in a field. And we walked in with a few other comedians, and everyone was off their face on whatever drugs and alcohol. And then we walked past a recording booth where they were recording music, and there was a woman hanging from the ceiling on a trapeze, and it was just like the most mental gig I've ever had. And then we actually did comedy in someone's living room.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And the craziest hecklers I've ever had too. They apologised after. It was weird.
It was a bit of a bear pit, but it was one of the friendliest bear pit gigs I've ever done.
We're famous in Dunning. Yay!
But then, we must have done well, because he invited us back the following year to do a gig in Dunning, yeah.
And that's when Ray and I shared bed. Oh, the gossip.
Yeah.
Oh, the gossip.
Not really gossip, just a little bit of scratching arses and blowing off.
Classic.
And that was just Jen.
Thanks a bunch, Ray. Thanks a bunch. I'm glad you think that's funny.
Oh, come on, farting's always funny, especially if a girl does it.
Maybe I should revamp my act.
Yeah, just go and hold the microphone to your arse.
People say I'm full of hot air, and they were right.
Yeah, you can do any art. If you're
queefing.
Yes. Yep. You should just a bit of light queef comic relief. Oh dear, just what it's come to.
This is how my business is. You can tell. Yeah, I'm trying to promote my business, and we always end up talking about farts. Classy.
Yes.
Classy. So if you want to hire me, please.
Please do queef me. Oh, disgusting.
You pig. So yes, if you want to get in touch with me, please feel free to either go to my Facebook site, Crossing Parallels Photography, or my website at crossingparallels.co.uk, or once again on Twitter at cparallels. I don't know. I think that's me bucketed out. Do you have anything exciting to say? Any promotions, right?
Any promotions? I did have, and then you just put me on the spot and just went completely blank. Yeah.